I'm occasionally asked, Dr. Billinghurst, why did you join with Gussy's Gut? What made you want to become part of this program of fermented foods? It's an interesting question because I don't remember a conversation that I had with Rob, but apparently 20 years ago he contacted me, like so many others had, and we talked about diet. He had a very unhealthy, or had a problem with his dog who was facing a number of health problems. And we talked about diet, and he went away and he adopted all the measures that I suggested about feeding a diet based on evolutionary principles, raw whole foods, without going into the details. And from that point on, he actually changed his own health. And then more recently, within the last few years, just before he approached me, he had another problem and decided that he would try fermented foods, and he started producing fermented foods for his dog, and those health problems disappeared. It was at that point he approached me and talked about this. And I said, yes, I've been advocating fermented foods for a long time because dogs are scavengers and they require that as part of their food program. And I said, well, what you're producing sounds very much like a food. And he said, well, it is, but we have to call it a supplement. And I said, well, this is the sort of thing that I've been advocating for a long time and looking for. Yes, I'd be very happy to help you promote this as part of a whole raw food diet, and indeed as something that would benefit even dogs who weren't prepared to go to a whole raw food diet, who just either had cooked food from home or even kibble. It would be of great benefit. And this began my relationship with Rob and my advocacy of his wonderful products. And the more I see of what they are doing, the greater the encouragement I am given to continue promoting and helping Rob promote his wonderful, healthy, fermented vegetable foods. Brilliant. Rob and I have worked with these formulas for a long time now, and we've produced products that I believe reflect the evolutionary heritage of our dogs. And they really do, I guess, confirm and are part of the food paradigm I've been pushing and advocating and realising how beneficial it is for over 40 years. So I cannot emphasise enough the importance and the brilliance of these products in promoting canine health. Absolutely wonderful, and they are part, I believe, of of any dog's requirement for producing a healthy body and a healthy gut. They are a vital part of a dog's overall diet. Well, people often ask me, where do I get started with these wonderful fermented foods? And I say it's very simple. Just start with Boost. Do it for 90 days. That is a great place to start. It's very simple, nothing to think about, just get on with it, but do it for 90 days. Now, having done your 90 days, now is the time to think about diversity. We've planned a whole menu of diverse plants to increase the diversity of your gut's microbiome, and this is where you should now start to think about going, to looking at the other products as well. You know, we say 90 days is the time to try. Of course, every dog is different and every health issue is different, and some can take longer to repair and some take shorter times to repair. The thing is, this is not like using a drug, where a drug actually changes the metabolism very dramatically and very quickly without actually fixing the problem, but just masking symptoms. What we're doing here is healing. We're regenerating the body. And so some things, in some cases, you'll see changes very quickly. In others, it may even take greater than 90 days. And certainly for an older dog or a dog with very deep problems, yes, you'll see changes, but you won't see the full benefits in that 90 days. And it's important to keep going. It's important not to give up. Put it this way, sickness has often taken years to develop, and to turn that around, yes, we can often see rapid changes, but some of the changes do take time, and the important thing is to stick with it and accept that when you're using a natural product, not a chemical drug, the change is not instantaneous most of the time. It can be very quickly, but often it is not. So be patient. These changes will occur because you're asking the body to use real whole raw foods, fermented foods, to regenerate the body, and they are very powerful, particularly phytochemicals, the chemicals in plants, exceedingly powerful, particularly in their fermented form, the so-called postbiotics. Now, of course, some people are worried that having bought the product, their dogs won't eat it. Now, vast majority of dogs love it. I can testify to that. But if for some very strange reason your dog does not and just refuses, well, the good news is there's a 30-day guarantee. The product can be returned. And the other thing to keep in mind is what we're talking about here is a really high quality product, all organic, US made in small batches under very strict conditions. We're not looking at some mass-produced cheap product. We're looking at a high quality product designed very specifically for gut health, for your dog's health. So be assured that the product you are buying is first class, more than first class. Designed by myself together with Rob Ryan, who is an expert in all things fermentation, and together we have produced a product that you can be assured is of first quality, and it will work to restore gut health. That is what we see, and that is what we expect. Even more astounding about these products is if you understand this, that 1 ounce of the powdered material is concentrated from a pound of the original raw vegetable materials. Now that's an incredible concentration of nutrient value. In other words, if you think about that concentration, 16 times in fact, that's an incredible amount of vegetables material you would have to ferment at home to produce the same results. At this point, I'd also like to introduce the modern mind and return on investment. If you start adding this product to your food, what it actually does is make the nutrients in that food that already is there more bioavailable. So it's a multiplier effect, it's synergistic, increasing the value way beyond an additive effect. And isn't that brilliant? And of course the payoff in the end is not just a food that is so valuable, but of course the payoff in the end is the health of your dog, the longevity of your dog, and the freedom from disease that you are helping to produce simply by changing the gut microbiome, simply by adding a fermented food with all the benefits of those probiotics, prebiotics and postbiotics. So brilliant. And this is what we want for your dog. This is what you can either produce at home or, as we've said, buy the product. One of those, we don't mind, as long as you're producing a healthy dog. Our whole goal is education. Let me emphasize the point that what we're doing here is, I guess, from the heart in many ways. This is something we're doing because we care and because we know the truth. And we're producing a product that is literally designed to produce health, not designed to produce anything else other than that. This is a product that once Rob introduced me to the idea that he was going to produce it, that I wanted to become a part of, because for a long time as a vet, my whole aim has been, of course, to produce the health of dogs. And I realised that we had the opportunity to do this better and on a wider scale using these products. So let me assure you, and let me tell you, this is something that is done with a great deal of love and care and compassion and passion. And this is where we want to land with this product. It's something that is true from our hearts, from our minds, from our scientific basis, everything that is, I guess the word we're looking for is absolute integrity with the product to produce healthy dogs, healthy guts. This is what we're aiming for, and we hope you will join with us in promoting the health of your dog through the use of such products, such ideas. For most people who are looking at supplements and so on, they're usually just trying to solve one symptom, one basic problem. And we are looking to do far more than that. We're looking to improve the whole spectrum of your dog's life. And we know we can do that through health. Health is so important. And so that's our passion. That's what we want for your dog. We want you to see far more than you were expecting simply by the use of these wonderful products. So look out for that. Once you start using them, you're going to see an enormous change well beyond what you're expecting. And this will be to the benefit of yourself and your dog, and that's what Rob and I have been looking for in the production of these wonderful products. So we look forward to seeing you at gussysgut.com, and I do thank you for watching.